Every year new interesting discoveries are made, but some of these even divide scientists and don't ever get fully explained. This is what happened when a mysterious-looking creature was discovered in Russia. The odd-looking creature was found in the Leningrad region, in the town of Sosnovy Bor. The town was built in the 1950s to serve the Leningrad nuclear plant. A woman by the name of Tamara said she was the one who found it, and said she came across it while she was wading in shallow waters close to the nuclear power plant. As she picked up the creature, she couldn't identify what it was, and so showed her friend, who said it looked like an undeveloped animal, suggesting that it may have been something like a mutant chicken embryo. Biologist Yegor Zajarev at the Institute of Biophysics was puzzled, saying the following: "It seems that this body is neither fish or fowl. This creature has a mysterious skull, no neck and no wings. Extensive studies are needed to determine what kind of creature or organism this is." End quote. The creature soon started to get the attention of scientists and researchers, and it was then sent to Moscow for further studies. The chicken embryo theory is the one that's used by most people to explain what this creature is, but as pointed out by locals, the Leningrad nuclear plant has a history of covering things up, and it's even led some to suggest that the area around the plant is dangerous for wildlife, leading to these abnormalities that officials would want to keep under wraps. According to a former Russian federal investigator for nuclear and radiation safety, Vladimir Konstov said the area has a dark history, and one that officials don't want the public knowing about. 3 people had lost their lives when a cooling unit ruptured. On top of this, there's been various fires, and even radiation spills that were detected over 4 miles away from the plant. Researchers have said these spills could deform some of the local wildlife. Others said that perhaps animal testing was going on in the area, and one of these creatures managed to escape, eventually being found by the woman in the nearby river. As of right now, there's not much information that can be found on this mysterious creature, with amateur researchers saying that it looks like officials may have found something out about this creature that they don't want the public to know about. One person said the following: "It's strange how this creature was having tests done on it and being sent to labs, but now we have no answer for what they found. I've never seen a creature that looks like this." End quote. As of right now, it's anyone's guess as to what this odd-looking creature is, and whether it's the result of a chemical spill, an undeveloped embryo, or perhaps extraterrestrial in nature. The oceans and rivers of the world are some of the most mysterious places, and over the years people have discovered and encountered strange things that not only baffled them but also the researchers who have gone on to investigate them. One such creature has become known as the black demon shark. Over the last 20 years it's been spotted off the shores of Mexico's Baja California peninsula. These reports and sightings have been made by a number of fishermen across the Mexican coast that claim to see a massive black shark roughly 60 feet in length and resembling the build of a great white shark, but with that of a dark coloration across its body and a massively sized fin. Given the fact that many of these reports fit many of the modern day recreations using megalodon skeletons, it's led many to believe that it could be a possible hunting ground for the creature. Additionally, many of the fishermen that have reported this sighting have often been veterans in the field, never having once claimed such sightings in the past, and having more than enough experience with different species of whales throughout the region. What's interesting about these reports is that we have proof that at one point in time these creatures were swimming in our oceans. Going back in the 1960s, there appeared to be another widely reported sightings of a megalodon creature in the modern day. According to the report, a captain of a 50-foot-long fishing ship claimed that a massive white shark, larger than the boat itself, passed by while the captain and crew were sitting at anchor. When people began to question the captain and claim that it had been nothing more than a whale, he continued to claim he was an experienced fisherman and was well aware of what a whale looked like. He confirmed that it was indeed a larger shark, and that it was not similar to that of a whale of any kind. Some people who have researched these cases have said these individuals encountered everyday wildlife, but as some have pointed out, it's very unlikely these people would mistake everyday wildlife for a giant shark. As of today, it's not known what these individuals encountered. Scientists have said the giant megalodon shark is now extinct, and hasn't been in our oceans for at least a couple million years, yet well-seasoned fishermen are clearly seeing something. Other fishermen have come forward and said they think there may be giant great white sharks that are being misidentified. Some have claimed to have seen great white sharks pushing 30 to 40 feet. Marine officials have said this is a more likely answer, but still question this theory as great white sharks are said to reach a maximum length of 20 feet. However, according to J.E. Randall, the largest great white shark reliably measured was found in Ledge Point, Western Australia in 1987, and is said to have measured at least 6 meters. Around a decade later in 1988, the Canadian Shark Research Centre captured and verified a large female great white shark. This was off the coast of Alberta and Prince Edward Island, and it measured 6.1 meters. Furthermore, a great white captured off the coast of Malta in 1987 is said to have measured an estimated 7.13 meters. Photographic evidence of the shark dubbed Malta was thoroughly examined and was found to confirm this estimation, even suggesting it was larger than previously thought. This suggests that great white sharks can grow up to 7 meters, a vast jump from the previous known size of 4.9 to 6.1 meters. Bringing animals back to life will always be a controversial topic. Those in favour will say it gives us a chance to study them and understand what life would have been like thousands of years ago, while others say we should just let them rest, and that there's a reason they were wiped out in the first place. Russian scientists went with the first option, and a few years back it was announced that these worms had not only returned back to life, but started to feed and multiply rapidly. The news then got shared recently on various websites, and due to everything that's happened it got people worried. The event was described by scientists as being truly revolutionary, and saying that they thought this would never happen. The team are now working on trying to understand how these worms were able to do what they did. One of the first websites to feature the news that the Russian scientists had thawed roundworms was back in 2018. And although people have voiced their concerns, the scientists have said it's one of the greatest discoveries they've made. These roundworms have been under scientific supervision the whole time, with the team saying that the discovery is nothing short of a revolution in the field of cryobiosis. Cryobiosis happens when water around the creature becomes frozen, and in turn causes that animal to become frozen. Once temperatures return to normal, the creature will continue to live on. What's interesting about this discovery is that scientists weren't even looking for roundworms at the time they were found. Things like bacteria and single-celled organisms have been known to survive much longer in similar conditions, but the team have said what's so special about this is that these roundworms are multicellular organisms, and no one thought these worms could have been resurrected after such a long time. One of the team members, Sachlovich, said the following: "We hadn't obtained multicellular animals that had survived cryobiosis on a geological timescale before. It was just a happy coincidence that we got 2 live nematodes in 2 soil samples at once, but even their existing record for survival in suspended animation was only around 30 to 40 years. End quote. Even when the soil samples were sent off, the worms weren't initially seen. The scientists at the lab placed them on a petri dish and started to observe them for the next 72 hours. One of the researchers said the following: "We spotted the worms only when they started moving. That was around 10 to 14 days after unfreezing. They probably came to life even earlier." End quote. Non-believers soon started to put forward other theories like these were modern-day worms, and not ancient worms as described. But these rumours were soon put to rest as these samples were taken from specific regions, and these were near rivers that were able to be dated back 42,000 years. Also, they were collected from the ground using a drill, with the scientists noting that the drill had been sterilized before use. The team said that the first sample that was brought up ended up being over 32,000 years old, with the second being even older, saying that after tests were conducted this one was 42,000 years old. Both of these roundworms were identified as female. Statlovich said the following about the creatures. A single-celled organism can survive due to its adaptive properties. For example, the ability to form various stages of dormancy, spores or cysts, but a multicellular organism has a more complex structure. Although nematodes are also known to have a dormant stage, during prolonged hibernation damage to DNA and cell membranes can occur and can accumulate in the cells. Toxins can be produced that should either destroy the organism or be repaired during the suspended animation or after defrosting. Somehow these worms manage to survive. It's a most curious enigma." End quote. When she was asked about the safety of these and whether we should be bringing ancient creatures back to life, she said the following. "As a result of the ongoing thawing of the permafrost, organisms preserved in it find their way back into the modern ecosystem every year. It's a natural process. We simply follow nature and do nothing that doesn't happen in the natural environment." End quote. Some people voiced their concern about this though, with one person saying the following. "With everything that's recently happened, do we really need to be doing stuff like this? I understand it's impressive, but is this really the best time?" End quote. While another person said this. "We understand how cool and powerful Mother Nature is. We lived through it recently. We really don't need to be bringing things back to life that lived on this planet tens of thousands of years ago." End quote. Well, this person simply said, "Do you want Jurassic Park? Because this is how you get Jurassic Park. I have a bad feeling about this." End quote. It seems that this isn't the only thing that Russian scientists are working on. A few years back it was announced by a team of researchers in Russia along with South Korea that they've been working on bringing back prehistoric creatures. The scientists are currently carrying out research in a lab that costs $5.9 million. The scientists hope to study animals that were once extinct from the living cells, saying that they want to be able to move on to restore the creatures. Some of the animals they are studying include the cave lion, woolly mammoth, woolly rhino and species of horses that went extinct. Scientists from Harvard and Russia have already delved into mixing genes to bring back species that are extinct, and they've said they want to put woolly mammoth genes into an Asian elephant, and they plan to do this by 2021. Some have suggested this could be the start of something huge, with people putting forward the idea that we will eventually have many extinct species roaming our planet once again. So what do you make of these interesting stories? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.